With 13 million players since its release, Starfield is Bethesda's biggest launch to date. Fast forward a couple of months and there are still parts of the game that many players are complaining about, such as shipbuilding and the lack of exciting exploration. However, there is some exciting news as Bethesda have just announced that a new update for Starfield is coming soon. In this video, I'm going to break down the announcement, discussing all of the exciting additions that are going to be added to Starfield, so let's get started. First up, Bethesda have confirmed that there will be multiple updates next year and that they are aiming for updates roughly every 6 weeks starting in February. Bethesda have also said that these updates will include everything from quality of life improvements to content and feature updates. So it is official that we will have our first update with additional content in February, which is not that far away, and we can expect frequent updates every 6 weeks after this. This is really good news as many players are crying out for additional content. Also, as we can see from the lower player count of Starfield from the last few months, new features and content are something the game desperately needs in order to get people back into the game. So what are the new features? In a post on their website, Bethesda has confirmed that we'll be adding new ways to travel and you'll now be able to access city maps while exploring the major cities. For those of you who love shipbuilding, we'll also be expanding on ship customization with ship decorations, new shipbuilding options and more. These will be brilliant additions to the game. I'm sure that by new ways to travel, Bethesda are planning to add some sort of rovers. This is a change that many people have requested previously and would drastically improve the experience of having to run around on foot a lot of the time. Hopefully we can customize the rovers and have various rover modules on our ships that we can store our rovers in and even modify them. This could be one of the changes mentioned when Bethesda talked about expanding ship customization with new building options. Adding the ability to access city maps is a relatively small change, but one that will really increase the user experience, particularly for new players. I don't know about you guys, but I found it frustrating at times when trying to navigate some cities when I was just starting out, so I'm glad to hear about this change as it will make navigation much better. Bethesda are also going to be adding some interesting new gameplay options. They have said that with these new settings you'll be able to alter your gameplay to allow for an easier or more challenging experience that will expand beyond our normal difficulty setting. These will allow you to easily customize carry capacity, cargo access distance, ship damage, vendor credit, how you suffer afflictions, new survival mechanics and more. Again, this is really cool and a welcome addition to the game. With new survival mechanics, it will be great to see a survival mode like Bethesda implemented into Skyrim. This would give us the need to eat and sleep in the game and would add a fun, realistic experience for players looking for that extra challenge. This could be especially interesting if combined with greater ship damage and greater chances of getting afflictions. Hopefully these new features will be added in the first update in February so players can try them out as soon as possible. Another exciting feature that we will see in the coming updates is Creations, the official mod support for Starfield. This has pretty much been confirmed for a February release as Bethesda stated in their post that beginning early next year, Starfield will be getting its own exporter and you'll have access to a new creation kit. A key point to note here is that Creations will be available across all platforms as Bethesda have previously commented that mod support will work across all platforms similar to what they've done with Skyrim and Fallout 4. It's great to finally have a confirmed release window for mod support for Starfield as Bethesda have been teasing this for quite a while now. Creations will also allow modders to create mods much easier as it will give them a better environment to do so. This is good for players as it will lead to even more incredible content that we can enjoy. I personally can't wait to see some Star Wars mods. When we combine the influx of cool mods with the new gameplay features and other additions to the game, I think it's safe to say we will have plenty of content to seek our teeth into once the February update releases. I just hope that Bethesda doesn't rely too heavily on the modding community and will still continue to implement changes of their own in the future updates. However, I don't think we have to worry about this too much as we know that Todd Howard mentioned the team has a big list of content from players that they want to add into the game. Moving on, let's talk about DLC. There's been some updates from Bethesda about Shattered Space, the first story expansion for Starfield. Bethesda have stated that the team is hard at work on the development of Shattered Space, our first major expansion coming next year. You'll have new story content, new locations, new gear and much more. We can't wait to share more with you next year. Of course, we already knew that Shattered Space was a story expansion and that it would contain new locations and gear. In fact, I previously theorised that the Shattered Space story will be about some sort of break in space or time, or maybe both. Our character will then go on a story based on this break. However, it looks like there is a key piece of information here about when we can expect the DLC to launch. Notice how Bethesda has stated that the expansion is coming next year, whereas they've previously said about modding and other features that they will be coming early next year. Unfortunately, I think this means that we will not see Shattered Space in the February update, or even in the couple of updates after this one. I think the lack of details about Shattered Space in general also supports this. I think an April 2024 release for this DLC seems a bit more likely. This would also link up with previous Bethesda game schedules. Fallout 4's Automatron DLC arrived 6 months after the main game hit shelves, while Dawnguard for Skyrim released around 8 months after it launched. So it seems we still have a bit to wait before seeing some actual DLC. Finally, let's talk about some changes that Bethesda haven't announced but would be good to see. I have said this in a previous video, but I think first and foremost is to add some more cities. One of the really good things about Starfield is that there are plenty of planets and places to add cities, so creating some interesting cities with new quests and characters seems like a natural next step. I am glad that we will see more gameplay features, ship content and planetary exploration content, but I am a little disappointed that no new cities or factions have been hinted at by Bethesda. It looks like we will have to wait until Shattered Space in order to get some new locations. I'm also surprised to hear that no new companions have been planned so far. One of the elements I really enjoyed about Starfield is the companions, so seeing more companions would be amazing. I am hoping that we will maybe hear more about these and potentially some new cities and factions later on next year, perhaps after the Shattered Space expansion. And that's everything we know so far about the next Starfield update. Are you guys excited to see the first update in February? And what do you want to see added to the game that has not yet been mentioned? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Please don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you haven't already, as it does help me out more than you know. As always, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.